Okay, so welcome to our training on how to record a narration for your lesson. I just wanted to start with a thank you for the sort of innovation and the imagination and the determination with which everyone's approached making their online lessons. I think I said it in an email earlier this week, but we've learned so much new stuff in these few weeks, and even for people who like technology, it's difficult. So I know that this has been difficult. We have been doing more and more recording and narration or recording ourselves on our lessons, and this has been really positive. I just wanted to bring you back to this. Oh, let me move my little face. Where am I going? I'm obviously an expert at this. I wanted to bring you back to this sheet, which went out to all the staff after we did the learning lunch on metacognition. This is from the EEF, and this is like a planning process to help you make sure your online lessons are really effective. And as you can see, it goes through the stages of like activate, explain, practice, reflect, and review. Now, I just think that this is so much easier when you've got your voice there to explain these things to students. The students know you, they know your ways of explaining things. It adds personality. It's just more engaging. On the next slide here, there's two different things that we're looking at in this training, and it kind of comes down to whether you want your face on the lesson or whether you just want your voice. Now, I've only been doing voice mostly because, as you can probably see, I look in the wrong directions and I think it's probably distracting to see my face. But I've just gone through the two sort of different possible ways you can look at this. So with Loom, everything with Loom is online. It immediately publishes your video online, so you've got a link that you can send to the students. It's very intuitive, it's very easy to use. Once you've got the app, it's really good. And you can show your face. So for the students, that little bit of face contact, being able to see you, that could add a little bit of engagement there. Smart Recorder just looks like this. It's just here. It just looks like that. That just records your voice over your screen. I have been using this predominantly, and I'll be doing a little bit of training on that. It's very simple to use. It's not as scary because you don't need to worry about what your face is doing because you can just talk about your lesson. So I have been able to do a lot more lessons with this. So if you want something a bit more simple and you're not worried about having your face in it, Smart Recorder might be what you want to do. So we're going to go on. The first little video is me explaining how to use Smart Recorder, and the second one is Holly, who is our sort of resident expert on Loom, explaining how to install and use Loom. You can skip through, so if you know you definitely want to use Loom, you can skip through my part and go straight to Holly's. Both of them have some sort of tips that we have worked out through making mistakes ourselves, but we're all trying to learn at the same time. So if there's anything else that we need to explain, or if there's any other questions you have after the training, do email and we will endeavour to either call you or do a sort of question and answer sheet as well. So hopefully this is useful, and yeah, thanks.
So in order to use the Smart Recorder to record your screen, you first need to just click down here, go into all the programs and look for where it says Smart Technologies. In there you will find all the things that are programs to use on your smartboard, but you can also use them just on your screen. So if you click on Smart Recorder, which I've already opened because I'm using it to record this, then it will open up this little box here. So that's then recording your screen. So you can see at the top there, it has the time, how long it's been recording. When you are not recording, you can access this menu, but you don't need to do anything because this recorder is so simple. It's just recording your screen, it's recording your voice. You don't really need to change anything on it. That's why this one is pretty good. I find it really useful to be able to press pause here as well. So when I'm talking about a lesson, I can sort of talk over one slide, I can press pause. It saves me. The first time I did it, I ended up going back and recording it loads and loads because I was trying to do it all in one go, and it was a bit stressful and annoying. So yeah, so once you've got this open then, you can open up your lesson. So as you can see, when you put your lesson in full screen, the only thing else you've got on the screen is this, but you can move it around if it gets in the way. You can pause it, and you can stop. And then you just click through your lesson as normal. So one thing that I've found really useful, and also it stops me from just completely just boringly reading things off the PowerPoint, is that I've got notes about this either written down in front of me, or I've got the PowerPoint on my phone so I can see what's coming up next. Because otherwise it does sometimes sounds like you're surprised by what's happening in your own lesson, if you're not very good at organising it, like me maybe. So yeah, so you can just click through your lesson, you talk through each slide. I've been really clear as well. Actually, I stole this off Georgia Stairs, but Georgia has a little slide at the beginning of her lesson which just says, pause the video here, go and get pens, go and get paper, sit yourself in a quiet space. And it kind of makes sure settles the class as such and gives them a routine to do. And then I've also just been making sure I tell students quite a lot to pause if they need to read the screen, because otherwise it could end up with them feeling like they should be completing the lesson in 8 minutes, I guess. Yeah, and that's really it. Like, it's really easy. Just record your voice over it. There's no possibility of putting your face on this one, which works well for me. Yeah, so just record your voice over your PowerPoint. It means that you can explain things in a little bit more detail. It means that the students have your voice, which hopefully helps them a little bit.
Hi all, just some assistance on setting up Loom and a little bit of guidance in terms of how to use it and some little tips I've picked up along the way. Apologies if this video does draw out a little bit. I've got quite a few slides, but hopefully it'll be really useful, so it'll make it worth it. So in terms of installing Loom onto your computer, I'm not quite sure how it works on an iPad, but if you do use an iPad, please do let me know. All you need to do is put into Google Loom recording software, and the top tab to click on will be loom.com. That's the one we're using. Clicking on Get Loom for free once you've done that. There's versions that you can pay for, but you don't need to have one of those. I don't really see the point, to be honest. Everything we need is on the other one anyway, so cool. Click on that. Then you need to enter your email address. I use my school one. And then obviously you need to fill out the necessary information, create yourself a password. And then they'll send a verification email to that email. Once that one's come through, you need to verify your email address. So clicking on that link, that will then take you straight to the Loom website, where it will talk you through the necessary steps in terms of finalising your account. There are the 5 steps to setting up your Loom account, nice and easy if you would prefer to view it that way and pause this video. So there are 2 ways that you can download it or install Loom. You can do it via desktop or via Chrome. Personally, I do desktop. I feel like it's a lot easier to use. And I've got Safari anyway because I'm on a Mac, so I don't have Chrome. But if you do have Chrome and want to do it via the internet browser, click install Chrome or install extension. It will then take you to the Chrome store, and then all you need to do is click add extension, and it will have uploaded that to your browser. And what will happen is near the URL browser bar bit, it will have the little Loom logo, and every time you want to record a video, that's what you click on. It's worth noting that from that tab where you have set up Loom via Google Chrome, you cannot then record off of that, so you have to open a different tab to do it, but that's only on your first time use, then you are good to go. In terms of using Loom on your desktop then, click install app. For me, once I've installed it, it then goes to the downloads folder. I then have to drag it from downloads to applications, but it brings up that for you to do, so you've just got to drag it into from one to the other. In terms of Windows, it might be a little bit different. Please do let me know though, so I can send out some information on that. But I'm pretty sure it's more self-explanatory, I would say, than Chrome. It's worth noting that if you have a Chromebook, doing it via the app is not going to work. You're going to have to do it via the Chrome extension. But the Chrome extension has its benefits. Like, I think that'd probably be the best one to use within school. I don't necessarily know if we've got the permissions to download apps to these school computers, so the Chrome extension would be really beneficial if you are wanting to do your videos within school rather than doing it off your own device. So in terms of filming via Chrome, you've opened up a new tab, you've clicked on the Loom icon, and it will then say click to start filming, and it will give you these two options. So you can film your entire screen or you can film sections. That is up to you. So you need to decide on your screen preference to start your video. It's worth also noting that if you are using Chrome because you're doing it through the internet, if you are using your camera bubble and you then decide to use a Word document or a PowerPoint, it will hide that camera bubble. You won't be able to use it because you're using documents or applications that are outside of the internet browser. However, if you do, for example, want to talk over a YouTube video, or you want to have a YouTube video playing, pause it and then you talk, you can do that via Chrome. So if you're using anything within the internet, it will keep the camera bubble, but if you're coming out of the internet to use things like Word or Microsoft or Excel, it will then hide it. So that's worth knowing. In terms of filming via desktop, once you've downloaded it to your desktop, for me it appears here in a little icon. It also appears here and here, so you can't really miss it once you've downloaded it to your desktop. Also appears when I go onto my home screen as such with all the icons. Here it then talks you through your options on how you would like to set up your Loom account. This is exactly the same when you do it via Chrome. So would you like the screen and the camera? Would you like screen only? Would you like camera? Are you doing it via full screen or a window? And then also it will just check that your camera's working and that your sound is working as well. Here you have the option to start recording straight off the bat from your desktop, but what I prefer to do is I prefer to set it up slightly differently. I think it just looks a bit smarter and it stops students from being able to see what on earth you've got going on. Like, I've got some fitness tests up there, I've got orienteering over here, my phone call log icon's there. I don't want them to be able to see that really, so the following method I think is better. The video is a little bit crackly, but I will pause that and do my best to voice over it. So what I've done here is I've filmed myself setting up or about to start recording a Loom video. So I've got my PowerPoint here. I've then checked my settings, made sure it's what I want, and then instead of clicking start recording there, I full screen my PowerPoint, and what I'm about to do is click Shift Command and then L. And then once I've clicked Shift Command L, as you can see in the little corner there, the pause button comes up. There starts to be a countdown, so I know that Loom is working. And now I'm able to voice over my PowerPoint. But what that means is instead of starting it from your desktop, they just see the PowerPoint. So that's all that they can see. They don't see you getting it set up. I prefer that. I think it looks smarter. So then once I'm done, I press the stop button and it'll automatically take you to the internet and where your video is now uploading and being saved. So once that is done, fab, I'm going to go on and talk about that and how we move on from that in a moment. But like I said, it's Shift, Command and L all at the same time on a Mac to start it from when your PowerPoint's in presentation mode. And I think it's going to be Shift, Control L if it's on Windows. Please let me know if that works. If it doesn't, I will do a little bit more research, but I don't have a Windows laptop to test it out of. So, going forwards then. My Loom video has now been uploaded to the internet. It's here. What I can do is I can rename it. I can delete it if I'm not a fan of it. I can download it to my computer. I can also trim it and edit it slightly. In terms of link sharing, I would personally keep it on. Only people with a link can see your video. The public don't need to see it. All students will have access to it, because what you should do from now is click copy link and then go into show my homework. Here it is already. All I did was right click and paste, puts the video on there. And then once you've typed your message to the students, all that you need to do is just say to them, copy and paste this to your browser, and just watch the video. And they can watch it from your browser absolutely fine. For the large majority of students, it does come up saying anonymous, but if they've decided to make themselves a profile, then it'll come up saying that so-and-so's watched it, which is fine. But yeah, it's not everybody can watch. Obviously, I don't think putting them on public access is really necessary. So once you finish filming in Chrome, there'll be a little green tick present throughout the whole video. Just click the green tick. It will then stop the video, and just like I've shown you then, going at it from a desktop angle, it will take you to the Loom website and it will work you through it. So yeah, those are your two options, Chrome or desktop. Hopefully the little hacks in terms of control shift and air were beneficial, stop students seeing what's going on. Also the merits of Chrome being that you can voice over YouTube stuff. I'm sure you can do it via desktop as well, I've just not tried it. But yeah, hopefully that's useful. If you do have any questions or you're still finding things difficult, literally just drop me an email, I can give you a call, and we can just talk about it. And hopefully everyone is now going to be enjoying Loom. It's great. So that is all from me. Good luck.